Experience the breathtaking sights and sounds of thousands of sandhill cranes as they winter over in Arizona's Whitewater draw. In this episode, we're going to have an unforgettable evening and morning photo shoot. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Jason Yoder. I'm an Arizona-based photographer who enjoys capturing the world through the lens of my camera. I hope you find this channel entertaining and inspiring as I take you with me on my photography journey. Subscribe to my channel to enjoy more videos like this. Flying from as far as Siberia, 20,000 sandhill cranes are descending on just a few acres of Arizona. Winter is setting in the northern hemisphere. Here on a remote patch of Arizona, 4,000 feet above sea level, these large birds fly up to 2,500 miles to spend the winter months in these shallow wetlands. I'm going to camp overnight here so I can have both an evening and a morning photo opportunity with these noisy visitors. The weather is pleasant, but before I photograph my feathered friends, I'm going to start fueling up for the January Arizona night that I'm about to spend out here. Normally I like to camp far from others, but I was able to get one of the last of the first come first served campsites inside of the wildlife area. Hey everybody, yes, this is me coming to you from the future. I'm in Chinatown here in Manhattan doing some nighttime photography. So if you want to catch that episode, hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn on your notifications. Only a few hundred feet along the trail and you'll find the sandhill cranes. Some are just chilling out in the warm afternoon winter sun. Others are hanging out in the shallow water. Right in front of me is my first opportunity for a close-up photo. Using my Canon EF 100-500, I'm going to try and photograph sandhill cranes while they're mostly isolated from the main flock. It was challenging to get the cranes isolated from one another, and also to have them looking into the setting sun so we can see their eyes. There are also some mallard ducks. I've always liked the iridescent green feathers on the male's head. Zooming in close, we can see their waterproof feathers are doing their job as the water beads all over the duck's body. The wind was also a bit of a challenge, causing me to hold my camera strap to reduce blur. Get ready for a lot of blurry photos when using a large zoom lens. The wind out here was non-stop. Continuing to explore the area, I set up on a wooden viewing platform. This turned out not to be a good idea. This platform proved to be very unstable when someone would walk on it, and it produced a lot of shaky video and blurry photos. Continuing my search for an isolated crane, I came across this guy. The dominant eye is very important to capture in wildlife photography. I would say this guy's eye is almost intimidating. Right now, the only sounds is the blowing wind and the gentle, soothing sound of the cranes. But the sun is setting. The cranes are returning to the safety of the wetlands, and they're returning in huge numbers. "30 minutes after sunset is when you can count on seeing this spectacle. As more and more of them fly in, the gentle calls of the cranes turn into a loud roar. With the rapidly dimming light, photography is no longer an option. This gives me a chance to just relax and watch this wonder of nature unfold. Back at the campsite, you can still hear the cranes settling in for the night. For me, it's time for dinner. While the other residents of this very small camping area are inside their campers and Sprinter vans, I'm enjoying my large outdoor dining area. This quiet time is a good chance to unwind and catch up on a good book. But I'm not staying up for long. I'll be getting up well before the sun. The next morning, this grainy video taken at first light shows you why the cranes are here. This pond is where they feel safe, even with ice forming along the edges. This pond provides safety at night for these birds. Predators don't like to get wet during the freezing nights. With the morning comes the next spectacle. The cranes take flight to begin today's quest for food. Wave after wave departs. This gives me a chance to try and photograph the cranes in flight. It's very tricky photographing small, fast-moving objects in dim light. I set my camera to manual mode and adjusted the exposure. I also need to manually focus. Flying birds are too small for the autofocus to track. My camera clicks away in high-speed continuous shooting mode. I took hundreds of pictures just to get a few winners. These 3 cranes captured just skimming the separation between Earth and sky. This guy, with wings outstretched, reaching for the clear, cold air to lift him high in the skies. I took a lot of photos that ended up blurry. Even with my ISO at 5000 and my shutter speed at 1/4000th of a second, I was struggling to get clear, sharp photos. Finally, I landed one. This is my favorite photo of the trip. As the crane took off, I was able to capture him with a beautiful bokeh background. A still photo that gives the impression of motion. His wings stretched out and at a slightly down angle, letting us see the aerodynamic curvature of his body in flight. Although not a perfectly sharp focus, this is actually very good for shooting at f7 handheld in dim light at 500 millimeters. Slowly, the pond emptied and the roar of the cranes fell once again to a calm song. While heading back to my Jeep, I saw this guy hanging out in a tree. It's a Cooper's hawk. He gave me a couple of opportunities to photograph him looking around, trying to find his morning meal. I like this one of him looking around while side-lit by the morning light. But if you want to know what it looks like when you're about to become breakfast, I bet it looks like this. The eyes of a predator locked with yours. The expression of brute strength and the look of, "I'm about to ruin your day," across his face. If I was a rodent, I'd be terrified right about now. With the end of the golden hour, I'm going to head down to the Mexican border at the Coronado National Monument. Here it is, guys. Coin number 1. This is the first Explore with Jason Traveling Challenge coin. So my goal here is to get these coins to travel around the world. So on the back there is a QR code that whoever finds this can scan to get your instructions on how to report where you've picked it up and where you've dropped the coin off. Once you get to the visitor center, go inside. Turn left and you'll see the geocache under the desk. And if you're lucky, the coin may still be there. Check the tracking site displayed below to see the last known location of my challenge coins. What was your favorite photo? Let me know in the comments. A, B, or C. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode.